Welcome, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for joining us today on Leadership of Nuts and Bolts, the nuts and bolts of leadership skills development. So excited to be here with you today, and appreciate each and every one of you that are here on time as always. So my name is Kalpesh Patel. I have the honor and pleasure of sharing today some ideas with you that I hope make a difference in your journey of becoming a professional in the network marketing industry. And so, every week we unpack different stages, different places, different spaces of the journey as we are going from newbie right through to people that are seasoned veterans, people that are experts, people that have already mastered many of the skills and just want to sharpen the saw or polish their, if you like, current expertise and experience and add to it. So a little bit of background on myself. I've been in the direct selling industry of network marketing since 1996. That was my first journey, if you like. And like many, I struggled to get my head around what seemed very simple on paper, but wasn't that simple in practical application. I remember the first presentation I went to, I sat there doe-eyed, all excited, and I just, the circles were on the board and I'm sitting there going, wow, this is so me. As an entrepreneur, it was a perfect fit. It ticked all of my boxes. The ability to build a business from home, the ability to do it in your own time, in your own hours, evenings, weekends, however you wanted, the ability to have very easy entry and unlimited upside. Like, it just ticked all of the boxes. I'm a natural entrepreneur anyway. So the fact that you could build a business to unlimited wealth with minimum exposure was mind-boggling. I was used to retail trade where you had to invest hundreds of thousands of pounds at a time to make 10% a year, 15% a year, for example. That was the space I came from. So suddenly when I'm looking at network marketing, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. You can start for as little as back then, £200, and you can turn that into £200 a week, £200 a day, or even £200 an hour. So I was excited about that concept, excited about that idea. No inventory, no warehousing, no manufacturing, no distribution, no headache, no staff, no bosses, nothing, just leverage. And so super excited, off I went with my plan, absolutely crystal clear. I was one of those that knew in 90 days I'd be retired, right? With those circles and the numbers that they showed, I was like, I can do all of that. 90 days, it'll be a wrap. And as we know, that's not how that story ends. It's never 90 days to wrap it up, but it is in theory. And I was fascinated by that theory. And for me as an entrepreneur, I was always working on bridging the gap. Like, what is the gap between where I am and what it says on paper? And that was a journey and a half, 3 years of constant adjustments, learning, trying to understand, what was eluding me, what was avoiding me, where I was missing something, right? So just looking at the gap, going, how is this not happening for me? And then I'd see people on stage, right? People that are picking up 5 figures a month, 6 figures a month, which back then was a hell of a lot of money. And I'm just sitting there going, how can this person be making 20,000 a month, 30,000 a month? And when I listen to them, when I hear their stories, when I hear their journey, I'm like, there's no difference between them and me. In fact, I've got a lot more experience. I've got a lot more skill. I've got a lot more talent. I've got a lot more everything under my belt. Like, there's no way that I can't do this. If they can do it, I can do it. And that was the simple premise of my journey. And I was like, as long as I can see others are doing it and I possess the ability to learn, then I can learn whatever it is I need to learn. I just never gave up. Year 1, year 2, and year 3, I was never at loss. I'm capable and competent and smart enough to get something done. And so off I go, and I'm making, let's say, enough to break even, right? So whatever it was costing me in travel, entry into venues, events, whatever it might be, inventory. I say there was no inventory, but maybe the small monthly fees, the cost of running the network, whatever those small amounts were, I would cover those in my network, right? I'd make a few £100 here and a few £100 there, but nothing extravagant. After 3 years, I got to a point, and this is where the game changed. I got to a point where I was making a couple of thousand a month in my network, and which was great back then. It was a full-time income. More than a full-time income back then. We're talking about 1999. I'd achieved more than a full-time income part-time, doing a few evenings a week. But what was interesting was that was done part-time. And at the time I had a traditional business, and that traditional business stopped, and it was in telecoms, funnily enough. And I was left with this gap, if you like, of the kind of income I was used to from my traditional telecoms business, and this side hustle that I had. And because my traditional business stopped, I was forced to take my side hustle more seriously, and I did. And only when I took it seriously, only when it became a priority, when it became the only option, if you like, my bridges were burned. At that point, when it became my only option, my mindset changed. And all of my excuses, all of my stories, all of my, if you like, get out clauses disappeared. And I got serious. I rolled my sleeves up and I went to work. So and that's why I call it a part-time hustle at the beginning. And then it turned into a serious business after 3 years. And I took that from a couple of £1,000s a month up to back then, which was a huge breakthrough. I was doing around £15,000-20,000 a month. And, in the late 90s, that was serious income, especially when it was part-time still, more part-time than before, but nonetheless, still, I was used to doing 14, 15, 16 hours a day in my retail businesses. So for me to apply myself in network marketing, you can get, in 8-10 hours a day, the same results, if not better, because of leverage, because you're building income on income. Understanding the dynamics of this blew my mind. You're building income on income. This is the concept, building income on top of income. When you understand that concept, it's game changing. What you do today, you can add to tomorrow. See, it's very different whether if you're in a job, you get paid by the hour. We know very limited ways to increase your income. You can only work so many hours and you can only earn so much per hour. Then in business, similar restrictions, right? You can have some leverage, but fundamentally you're still restricted to the number of hours you can work in your shop and the number of customers that you can pull through the door into your shop from the street. So again, those limitations. In network marketing, there are no limitations. And especially today more than ever, there are no geographical limitations. You can build globally. It's a borderless world. There are no, in the industry we're in, there are no limitations in terms of customer value, right? So back then, the maximum sale that you could make was £200 per, if you like, customer or a member in your organization. And you earn a commission from that £200 sale. You could not sell more than £200. That was it. It was a fixed deal. And then £50 a month subscription or thereabouts, £40 a month, £30 a month, whatever the monthly subscription was. You were limited to those dynamics. Today, no limits. You can have a customer for €100, €500, €10,000, €100,000, €500,000. It's up to you based on who you're sat in front of and your ability to share the information well enough that they make a decision that's good for them. There's no limit. So one transaction can give you the leverage of 100 transactions somewhere else. Can you imagine? That's like one person does 1 hour's work over there and you do, one person does 100 hours work over there in another network marketing company, and you do 1 hour's work over here and you have the same result. It's a game changer. Like, what? Somebody else in another company has to put in 100 hours. You have to put in 1 hour and you can both pick up the same result, the same income. mind-boggling. So if you're not taking advantage of these dynamics, then more fool you. Like, why not? Why wouldn't you? The opportunity today is better than ever. The timing is ripe. We're sitting on the bottom of the top. So if you understand crypto and the cycles of crypto, we're at a dip right now, dream come true. Every single person that ever wanted to buy crypto always was happiest when they bought in the dip. Always. Whenever you join your crypto journey, the dip is the best time to buy. So if you got in on a high and then it dips, then when you buy in the dip and you ride it back up, you make up all of the difference, twofold, threefold, fivefold, tenfold on the way up again. And if you get in at the bottom and you ride it up, then of course you're just multiplying anyway. So there's no loss to recover. So it's a genius time to get in terms of crypto timing, right? We are at the bottom in terms of the year. 2023 is that year that, you know, everybody should get in. And then 2024, it starts to bounce. And 2025, it goes ballistic, all right? Missiles. So the next 2 years, educate yourself. Understand, number one, how you can become a customer of the space and take advantage of great tokens, such as the ones that we get offered, and then here through our Launchpad, and then leverage that through sharing. And even yesterday, I think yesterday, day before, I got a message from somebody saying, what I love about this project is that you don't have to share with anyone, and you don't have to build a network, and you don't talk about network marketing. Oh, that was it. It was off of the back of the corporate presentation. I love that presentation because they didn't talk about network marketing and they didn't talk about selling. And I replied back saying, why are you in this business? Like, really? If you're excited about the fact that you attended a presentation that didn't talk about opportunity, like, he's already in. So he doesn't need to attend a presentation. The machines are working for him. He's a passive member. So I'm like, why did you attend the presentation? You're getting excited about something that you're already in. You've already got. What's exciting is not the retail opportunity. That's one dimensional. The retail opportunity is nice. It's not exciting. It's nice. It's nice to be able to buy equipment or licenses that give you access to equipment that creates crypto for you. It's nice. But unless you've got 100,000 or 500,000 of equipment, it's not going to change your life. Sitting on a 500 euro machine or a 1,000 euro machine doesn't do diddly squat to change your life. It's just nice. It's lovely. Buys you a couple of coffees a month, pays for your train tickets, maybe buys you one holiday a year if you save it all up. That's about it. It's nothing to rejoice about. It's not about let's sing, songs in the rain. That's not time to sing songs in the rain, is it? So it makes me wonder how people relate to network marketing, even though they're in and benefiting from a network marketing opportunity. And you might be able to relate to this yourself on some level, right? That was an extreme level. Like, I'm really glad there was no mention of network marketing. What? I'm sitting there going, I was really disappointed that there was no mention of network marketing, because it's only network marketing that gives you leverage. It's only network marketing that allows you to turn 200 into 200,000 or 2 million. It's only network marketing that allows that. There's no passive deal on the planet that's ever going to give you the opportunity to create those kind of figures. A passive deal will allow you to turn 200 into 600 or 700. End of story. Done. You've done it. That's it. Finished. That's your journey. Turn 500 into 1750. Finished. Big deal. Hoorah, hoorah. Congratulations. Clap hands. Then what? So network marketing is what you want to get excited about. The fact that we've got phenomenal products, phenomenal foundation, platform, backdrop, story, all of that is all an added bonus. But what you want to be more excited about than anything else is network marketing. So understand that network marketing is the ability to create unlimited leverage and therefore unlimited income. All right. So once you get your head around that, that's what you want to teach people as well. Teach people to get excited about building a network. All right. Of course, you'll take advantage of the products because they're great, but your network will allow you to leverage those products and multiply, right? Even more than multiply. It's like, if you go back to maths class, remember, it's like the first thing that I got excited about when you got multiplication, and then they taught you the little number on the top. So you have a number and a tiny number to the top right of the number. And that was like exponential growth, right? To the power of 2 to the power of 3, 2 to the power of 4. And then you could go 2 to the power of 10. Like 2 to the power of 10 ends up with tons of zeros. They wouldn't even fit on the calculator. And you're like, wow, such a small number, when you add power to it, becomes infinite. 2 times 10 is 20. But 2 to the power of 10, the calculator can't even fit the number on the screen. That's network marketing, to the power of network marketing. That's what this does. Because you speak to a few, who speak to a few, who speak to a few. And before you know it, you only spoke to 5, but you got 30 in the team. Wow. Are you kidding me? You got 5, but you got the leverage of 30. You got 10, but the leverage of 100. Are you kidding me? There you have it. You work an hour, and if you've got 100 people doing an hour, you get paid for 100 hours. Unlimited leverage. 100 people in your team, if they all work an hour every day, you get paid 100 hours a day. That's network marketing. How many people have you got on this Zoom from your team? That's leverage, right? You getting on the Zoom is you to the power of 1. But when you get you and somebody in your team onto the Zoom, it's you to the power of 2. And then when you start getting you to the power of 3 and 4 and 5, it's game over. The leverage of that is unlimited. Do you see? So learning to understand numbers, getting comfortable with how they work, and knowing that when you convince, and it does take convincing, when you convince one of your team members, one of your partners, one of your teammates to show up to the Zoom with you, it turns multiplication into the power of. So it's worth it. It's worth finding those in your organization, as many as possible, that are willing to go on that journey with you. And look, they're on their journey. So it's a case of, some of you know this because you've been around long enough and you understand it. Others are learning this. People will rarely or seldom do what they said they're going to do. Right? Very, very rarely does that happen. When you sit down with somebody and show them the plan, the world is their oyster. If they sign up and fund their account and purchase products, everything that you showed them is possible for them in that moment. But unfortunately for them, their circumstances are always way more important to them than their possibility. And that's where personal development, leadership training comes in. Everyone has fantastic circumstances. Every single person that sets out on a journey of success has the most beautiful circumstances, whatever they are. And the difference between the ones that progress and the ones that don't is you choose. Do you choose your circumstances, or do you choose your possibility? So possibility is something that is spoken and created. Possibility is made up. It's magic. For me, possibility is a magical word because it doesn't exist, but you know it's possible for it to exist. All right? So when you train people to learn to think in possibility versus think in circumstances, that's your task. When you become a leader in the industry, when you become a leader of others, when you decide for yourself to lead, then this is the stuff that you're teaching and training people to overcome their adversity, to overcome their challenges, overcome their limitations, overcome their difficulties. Guess what? Everyone's got a tough story. Everyone has. There's not a human being on the planet that hasn't gone through shit. All right? But some people live in that shit and others understand that they don't have to. And our job as leaders is to teach people that they don't have to. You don't have to live in the shit that you're living in. Everything is temporary when you understand it. Even the good stuff, everything. Everything's temporary and it exists in possibility. When you understand that concept, the whole world changes. Everything you think is permanent is not, unless you create it in possibility. And it's only as permanent as the possibility that you ongoingly create. Like, just get that as a concept. The minute you don't create as a possibility, it goes stale and it dies. Whatever you're talking about, relationships, finances, wellness, whatever it might be. Nothing exists permanently. Just because you're fit today doesn't mean diddly squat for tomorrow. Just because you've got a great relationship today doesn't mean diddly squat for tomorrow. Just because you're doing well financially today does not mean anything for tomorrow. It just doesn't. And if you live in a way that you think it does, you're deluded and you hurt yourself because you make stupid decisions based on thinking that things stay the same and things are fixed and things are the way that they are right now. Nothing's the way that it is right now. It's only the way it is right now, right now. That's about it. All right. Other than that, everything is changing in real time all the time. And so we have the power to create that real-time change. So what are you creating? What is the possibility that you are creating for yourself? And it's an ongoing conversation. Like, if anything was possible for you, what would you create? And living into that. And that takes consciousness. It takes work. It takes inner work, right? See, network marketing is the perfect mirror for personal development. I was talking today, I think it was mentioned to Dizzy about somebody that he was talking to me about somebody's wife in the US. And he said it like this, it literally rolled out like this. He said, oh, she's into guns, she's into MMA fighting, and she's into personal development. And I said, no, she's not. So what a stupid statement to make. She's into guns. She's into people beating the shit out of each other in cages. And she's into personal development. No. She's into learning. They're very different things. You can learn about stuff and not understand it. If you understand stuff, then when you evolve spiritually, violence is about as far away from evolution as you can get. It's the opposite end of the scale. Do you see what I'm saying? It's like when you understand that when you evolve, then people get that confused. Personal development is not about what you know. It's not about reading good books and listening to good videos and watching Instagram videos. And it's none of that. That's not personal development. That's just learning good information. Makes you feel good. That's all it does. It just makes you feel good that you know a little bit more than everyone else. You feel clever, don't you, in that moment? Oh, that was nice. I've learned something. Very different. Learning something, learning knowledge is very different to applying it, to growing. So personal development is exactly that. It's personal and it's development, it's evolving, it's evolution, it's growth. It's measurable. Once you understand that you have the power to become any version of a human being you choose to. Not a version of yourself. Again, that's limiting. Yourself can only be created from your past. When you're recreating yourself or reinventing yourself, it's still limited to the past because you're referencing yourself, but you're not yourself. It's only because you have a lot of references, muscle memory, as they say. You relate to yourself a certain way, right? So you think this is who I am, And by default, your growth is restricted to who you are. But if you don't exist as who you are, like if your circumstances, your situation, your current life experience is not who you are, and anything is possible, and you step into possibility, now you're creating. You're not reinventing, you're not recreating, you're creating or inventing from scratch. Big difference. Imagine creating yourself from scratch. Who would you be? And jot some things down. Who would you be if you lived in possibility? Would you be more freely self-expressed? Would you be more loving, more generous, kinder, more courageous, brave, bold? Who would you be? Abundant, free? See, when you create, there's no reference to the past. And network marketing allows you to create whatever you want to create from scratch, apply yourself, and within a reasonable amount of time, accelerate your journey into your possibility. And by reasonable amount of time, for me, it was 3 years. And when I look at my life of 70, 80 years, if I'm lucky, 90 years maybe, if I'm extraordinarily lucky, 3 years was a very, very small period of time to work that out. See the fruits of that. And I have been a full-time network marketer ever since. Imagine that. Every experience I've ever had on this planet for the last 27 minus 3, 24 years has been funded by network marketing. I've done millions of miles of travel. I've traveled, I don't know how many countries, most of the planet. I've spent my life traveling, all self-funded, right? I've eaten in the finest places that are available to eat. I've driven the finest vehicles that are made. I've worn the finest clothes that are available. I have just all of it. I've experienced whatever I've wanted to experience through network marketing. How many people on the planet get to say stuff like that? Not many, right? And I'm blessed. I'm grateful. Every single moment of every single day, I'm grateful for all of that because it allows it. It allows you to do whatever you want when you understand the vehicle. And the reason is that it's the same principles that billionaires apply in traditional business. Network marketing allows the average person to create extraordinarily above average results without the journey of traditional business. Like if you're Bill Gates, congratulations. If you're the next Mark Zuckerbergs, hat off to you. If you're naturally the next Warren Buffett, wonderful. Fact of the matter is, most people are not. That's just the numbers tell you. 8 billion people, maybe 50 or 60 or 100 or what, 1,000 maybe. Do you know what I mean? That are known around the world. Global names that have made it to ridiculous levels of success. Cool. But guess what? I bet half the names I've just mentioned haven't traveled as vastly as I have and haven't eaten in as many restaurants around the world on a global level as I have. So which would you rather have, right? For me, goodness, the freedom that network marketing gives you is priceless. It's absolutely priceless. Without the stress and without the pressure, without the headaches. I know all of those guys I've mentioned, and there are plenty more. They all have stress. They all have headaches. They all have nightmares. They're all wondering if their company's going to be all right tomorrow. They're all wondering. It's all of that stuff that comes with that. Network marketing doesn't have half of the headaches. It's just pure leverage. Every single day you can wake up fresh, Control-Alt-Delete, build on what you built yesterday. Control-Alt-Delete, build on what you built yesterday. Control-Alt-Delete, build on what you built yesterday. Just keep building, keep adding, keep growing, keep leveraging. Looking for that 1 in 100 that's ready to run with you. So you've got to find your first 100 to find that one. Then you find the second 100 to find your second one. You find your third 100 to find your third runner. That's kind of how it works, right? I'm talking about if you're playing at the top of your game. The 1 in 100 is the top 1% of the industry. So if you want to get to the top to the top 1% of the industry, then you surround yourself with top 1%ers, right? Which means 1 in every 100. So go and get 5 who get 5 who get 5, and out of those 100 and something, find the 1. Then go and get another 5 who get 5 who get 5, and out of those 100 odd, find the next one. And that's network marketing. And before you know it, as Jim Rohn beautifully says, if you find one leader, you'll do very, very well. If you find 2, you will do beyond your wildest dreams well. If you find 3 leaders, he says, you're lying to yourself. I love that. Like, that's how rare it is, right? So every time you find a leader in your organization, count your blessings, lock arms, dream together, create possibility together, remind each other of each other's greatness, remind each other of what's possible for each other, learning to work together, learning to work as a team, learning to understand the dynamics of teamwork, and watch the magic that's created, right? This is teamwork, by the way. Showing up and supporting Zooms. You have no idea the power of what happens when you show up here. Not for you. What happens for you when you show up is magical, because it reconfirms so many things for you. Your commitment, your discipline, your ability to show up, your ability to do what you said you would do, your having your own back. You know, this is all demonstration of all of that. So what you're doing for yourself is priceless when you show up. But what's more powerful is what you do for everyone else on the call or the Zoom or the event. By you showing up and being present, it gives birth to the experience of the whole, the parts that make up the whole. It's the sum of all the parts, right? We are all the sum of all the parts. So if one person didn't show up, and that one person was you, then the only person on this Zoom would be me. If only one person didn't show up, and that one person was you, then I'd be doing this Zoom by myself. Some of you won't understand that concept. But some of you that do, congratulations, you just worked it out. It takes all of us to make anything happen. Most people do not understand that concept. We talk about it all the time. Plugging in is the first rule of success, not just for the individual, but for the whole, for everybody. Can you imagine if your team showed up to the calls? Do you see what I'm saying? Suddenly there's 100 on the call. Then there's 200 on the call. Then there's 500 on the call. I was just talking to Dizzy about something else earlier as well. He went on a call this morning, group of people, and he said there's about 30 or 40 people on the call. And I said, isn't that amazing? It's nothing to do with network marketing, nothing to do with leverage, nothing to do with what we talk about here. And yet they're able to get 30, 40 people on a call, and they do it every single day. Isn't that amazing? So it's possible, isn't it, for people to get together? So I want to address you all as the leaders that you are, as the top 1%, and say, right, what influence are you able to have on one other person? That's exactly how it works. It's the dynamics of numbers. If we all influence one, the numbers would double. Can you see that? We'd go straight from 28 to 56 if we all influence one. Just one. We have this thing in our head, oh, I've got to get 10 people on, and we get none on because we get paralyzed by the idea of trying to get 10 on. It just starts with the one. Just get one runner with you. Then double it the following week. Get 2. See, once you've got one committed to the same level as you, when you find that 1%er, then go and find the second 1%er. Here's the beautiful thing about numbers, though. I said it's 1 in 100, but you don't necessarily have to wait for 100 to find the one. It's like the analogy of the pack of cards. In a pack of cards, there are 4 aces, but they could be in the first 20 cards. All 4 aces show up. You don't have to go through the whole deck to find your 4. You don't have to go through 100 to find 1. You might find your first one in your first 10. Your next 10 might give you another 2. You might have 3 people in 20 that are the ones that are committed, focused, and running with you. But you're done. As Jim Rohn says, you find 3, you are done. You'll be in the top of the marketing when you find 3 people that are top 1%ers. He says, any more than that, and you're lying to yourself. How about that? So just get that there's work to do. It's mundane. It's the same work. There's nothing different, nothing new. There's no magic pill. There's no magic potion. There's no secret that the top 1% is keeping. No, it's just getting on with that daily activity to produce the results. That's all it is. Over and over and over and over again. Now, the more experience you have, the easier that becomes, of course, but everybody starts at the beginning. We all start, like I said, my journey took me 3 years to get to that point where I found my 1%ers. For 3 years, I was kicking the can down the road, trying to work out the puzzle. Then one day it all came together. And that's how it works. One day it just comes together. And when it does, you can't stop it. So I want to really encourage all of you to take a look in the inside of your subconscious mind and unlock whatever fears you have, limitations you have, limited thinking you have, preconceived ideas you have, stories that you have. And it's natural. We all make this stuff up. It's just the nature of how the brain works. We look for evidence for what's not working when it's not working for us. And we look for evidence for what's working when it's working for us. Most people are more focused on what's not working versus what's working, which is why their experiences of not working, because what you focus on expands. What you focus on manifests. If you are focused on what's not working, it's kind of unfortunate because it just means that it will carry on not working for longer. If you can shift your focus to what is working, then you start shifting the direction of your thinking. Like I said earlier, it's not easy, this stuff, but it is simple, right? I'm hoping that it's simple enough for you to understand conceptually. At least then you can try to apply yourself in the practical world with this stuff, all right? So it's not easy because you are fighting all the demons. You're fighting your past, your history, your memories, your most recent experience. Somebody slaps you in the face and turns you down today. Guess what? That is current, that is real, and you're going through it. If you hold on to that experience, it will drag into tomorrow. It'll affect your tomorrow. It will slow you down, put you into reverse gear. The key is to learn how to let go of the stuff that holds you back quickly. Let go of the stuff that doesn't work quickly. Let go of whatever's, becoming a burden in your mind, a weight that you're carrying, letting go of that quickly. And only you can do that. No one can let go of the stuff other than you. So learning to let go, it's all part of that whole process, right? Of being here and now. Let go. Let go of your birth date. Let go of how old you are. Let go of your every attachment. Your mind is your biggest trickster. You were born today. You'll be born again tomorrow. You're reborn again the day after that. Every single day, your spirit has no age. Your soul has no age, right? So every single day is a brand new day for you to play on the planet. Why are you fiddling about with what didn't work yesterday or last week or last month or last year? What a waste of time. What a waste of space. The only thing you want your past for is good memories and learning lessons. That's all. Learn the lesson and move on and hold on to the good memories. Done. Everything else is redundant. Let go of all the pain. Let go of all the letdowns. Let go of all the breakdowns. Let go of all of the shit. Hold on to all of the wonderful high peak moments and hold on to all of the lessons that you learn through the tough times, and then move forward. swiftly, efficiently, effectively, agelessly, timelessly, beautifully. Have fun. Just have fun. When you start being free and having fun, just watch how the next person you speak to can't wait to do business with you. Nothing to do with the business itself and everything to do with how you show up. The business just happens to be a fantastic foundation that you can plug into, but it's you that manifests your experiences. So manifest great people, manifest extraordinary conversations, manifest possibility, breathe it into others, breathe it into yourself, and create the magic. Don't hang about. That's network marketing. It's every skill you need in network marketing is a skill you've already got. People think I have to learn these new skills. No, you have to learn to transfer the skills you already have. It's just a transferring of skills. What are the skills? Showing up. You know how to do that. If you've ever held a job down, you know how to show up when you don't want to show up. Nobody wants to go to work on a Monday morning, but guess what? Everybody does. Nobody looks forward to going to work. How do we know that? Because every Sunday afternoon, everyone has that feeling in the pit of their stomach that it's Monday morning tomorrow. Speak to anyone in a job. Saturday afternoon, they're already dreading Sunday morning. Speak to anyone in a job. Every Friday afternoon, they're already celebrating the fact that they've got tomorrow off. We already know how to do what we don't want to do, how to show up when we don't want to show up, how to be consistent, how to be disciplined. We already know that. How to study the things we need to study to understand what we need to understand to be better at what we have to do. We've done it in a job or in our own businesses. In anything you do, it's the same principles. We already know how to speak to other human beings effectively. We know what happens when we don't speak to them effectively. We know how to speak to human beings in a lousy way. We do that often enough and screw up relationships. We know how to do all of that. Every skill that you need to avoid, you know how to avoid. And every skill you need to harness, you know how to harness. It's already there. You've got a track record of everything. You know how to build beautiful connection. You know how to screw beautiful connection up. You know how to be vibrant and energetic. You know how to be lethargic and tired. You know what happens when you input this food into your body, what the output is, and you know what happens when you input that drink into your body and what the output is. Nothing's rocket science. Nothing is rocket science. It's just science. It's very simple, very easy when you get serious about yourself and your possibility. It's so easy. It's for those that get this stuff, the most frustrating thing is watching others suffer unnecessarily in their own shit. It's so frustrating when you're going, if you could only yank yourself out of your bubble and look at your scenario from a different perspective. You've got all of this possibility inside of you, but you focus on all the crap. And then you manifest crap and you experience crap and you go around in circles in the same crap day in, day out, right? And it's literally snap of the fingers. It's a moment. Decision. So make the decision. For me, that's always my goal. I'm hoping one person that shows up makes a decision and then starts clearing the decks, clearing their mind, clearing their environment. And it all reflects. If you're the kind of person that leaves the lights on every time you leave a room, guess what? Your whole life is like that. Leave the socks, one over there and one over there, and your boxer shorts over there and a jacket over here, your whole life is like that. If you're a mess, you're a mess in every sense of the word. I learned something phenomenal many years ago. Cleaning up behind yourself. Leave every place better off than it was when you entered. Simple, magical concept. My whole world changed. My whole world changed. Little things. Like when you get up, when you get ready for bed, just fold your clothes. Don't throw them somewhere. It's easy to do that. Anyone can throw their clothes on the floor or on a corner somewhere or on a chair somewhere. Fold them. Takes you an extra 10 seconds, but the powerful message that you send to yourself is priceless. Now, you might say, that's not going to change your life. I promise you, it will transform your life forever. When you wake up in the morning, make your bed. Such a little act, such a huge result for the rest of your life. Priceless. Unlimited potential and possibilities unlocked when you clear your space. Keep your space clear. It's a reflection of your mind. The clearer your space, the clearer your mind. Now, look, don't get me wrong. There are people with OCD where the clearing of the space becomes the priority and their mind is completely fucked, right? I mean, completely, their mind is completely screwed up, right? I'm talking about creating freedom here with your stuff. So having freedom around it, taking pride and pleasure in having an environment that's clean and orderly and, presented well for yourself to enjoy. But it reflects the mind then, and create freedom with that. So many little things that you can do for yourself to give yourself the advantage. You have a meal, wash the plate. Don't let it pile up. It's horrible. Horrible when you walk to a sink full of stuff. Why? It takes 5 seconds, 10 seconds to wash your dish. Another 10 for the mug, another 10 for the fork and knife. Done. Half a minute max, you're done. Guess what? You walk away with power. When you leave it in the sink, bang, some more stuff to do later on. You're creating a mess. Unnecessary. Why do you need to do it later? Do it now. It's out of the way. Nothing to do. Have a world where there's nothing to do. Nothing to do all the time. Get rid of your to-do list. No to-do list. Just a to-be list. Be present. Just be. The more you can be present, the more powerful everybody around you will recognize you to be. And then it's easy to have conversations of possibility. Really easy. People open up like that. Trust is built at lightning speed. Conversations had with ease. Business is done as a matter of fact. Nothing to sell, nothing to convince, nothing to manipulate, none of that, no noise. Just ease. But it starts with all the stuff. See, some people just want the ease, but they don't want to do their bed. They don't want to squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom of the tube. They want to squeeze it in the middle or at the top. They don't want to put the cap back on after they've put the toothpaste on the brush. Tiny little things. Tiny, tiny little things. Magic. There's magic in the tiny stuff. So anyway, I'm done with that. Through fear of maybe going off into lecture mode. I wasn't lecturing, by the way, I was just sharing some experiences I've had that worked for me, and maybe they might work for you, right? They might not, I don't know. But I'll let you guys work that out. If you want to share where you're at, what you're up to, what you're excited about, what's working, what's not working, what your next steps are, then feel free to do that. And we will start with none other than our legend, Grandpa Crypto. How are we doing, brother?
I'm still here. Still trucking on, I was reminded of something, again, these sort of things have happened in my life. I used to have a wheelie bin cleaning franchise, and it was always really, really difficult to get customers at the, I could put a big advert in the paper, and it might cost me, I don't know, 500 quid, but I'd have to get an awful lot of customers to get my £3 a customer back from that. So it was impossible to do advertising, anything like that. And the only real way I found of getting customers simply was knocking on doors. And to try and get people to knock on doors and ask, it was really quite difficult to find good. But what I used to say to them, I said, look, I'm going to put here 100 boxes, little boxes all the way along the table, I said. And in one of those boxes is a £50 note. I said, you start taking the lids off those boxes. I said, if you get to number 99 and you hadn't found the 50 quid, would you open number 100? Oh yeah, of course I would. That's what you got to do when you're knocking on the doors then, because you'll get a lot of no's. But I used to do it in another way as well. I used to knock on doors myself. I was always the best one at it, believe it or not. I'm saying that it's a bit big-headed, but I was. I used to knock on the door and I didn't ask them if they wanted their bin cleaned. I used to tell them they were going to get their bin cleaned. I'm coming to do it next Tuesday. Is that okay? And nearly always they said yes.
Yeah, well,
I
it
didn't
goes
take
back
any
to
money
something I
off them,
touched.
you see.
Yeah, it goes back to something I touched on last week. I think I covered that, didn't I? The assumed close, right? Like
Absolutely
people
right.
need leading, people want leading, they want direction, they want somebody to know what they're doing. If you show up and look like you know what you're doing, of course they're going to say yes.
Because I used to say to them, if they said no, I said, why? Don't your bin smell? And I would go out and come back with 50, 60 customers in a 2 or 3 hour time. Where other guys used to go, say, how do you do it? I said, well, do it like this. And I got some quite good guys at it. And well, as I say, we ended up doing 11,000 a month. So we must have had some yeses, wouldn't we? Wow. But no, that was what I always said. It's always the no's that put people off. They can go on banging on doors. No. God, it's never going to work. As soon as you get a yes, you're up and you're off to the next one. It's wonderful. It really helps. So
and the key there is to let go of the no as quickly as possible.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to do at the moment. Let go of some of the no's I've been getting lately. But never mind. We'll keep throwing.
Let go of the no's as quickly as possible and get focused on the yeses, knowing that they're there. As you say, the 1 in 100.
That's right.
There's 4 aces in every pack of cards. Yeah, whatever the numbers are. But yeah, just know that there's a yes around the corner.
Got to be a yes there. Listen.
Every no is leading you closer to your next yes. So brilliant.
And if you said the other day, move into new territories, go and see different people, try on, go look in another field. This field's rubbish. Go into that one. Go and do something else. So that's what I'm trying to sort out at the moment.
Absolutely. So there we go. Brilliant. Love it. Thank you, Andy. Perfectly shared.
Cheers. Thank you for everything you do, Cap.
You bet. Thank you, buddy. Dizzy, how you doing, champ? Go ahead and unmute. I've sent the request. While you're trying to work that out, Sue.
I'm there. Can you hear me?
Oh, there you are. Yeah.
So I say this all the time, but you do it every single week. You manage, I've known you for 18 years and you managed to bring out something I've never heard before. So got to commend you. I mean, I'm in the same building as you, but I could have sat next to you.
Oh.
But I thought, you know what, let me go into another room, because if my team see me on the call,
yes,
it will inspire them. So I thought, let me go into another room.
Brilliant.
And make notes and do it. So yeah, I've made plenty of notes, and
you're very proud. Well done, mate.
I'm going to be born again tomorrow.
All right.
and what something that you said, we went to meet one of the guys with the guy with the yellow suit, and the first thing that he messaged me after we went was, "I love your energy."
There you go.
And he said, "I want to do whatever you guys are doing," and we'd only just met him.
Yeah, so we didn't speak about anything. Look at that.
Yeah, we haven't even told him what we do.
Yeah,
and he wants in. So.
There you go. Perfect. Love that. And just on that note, you remind me of the story of just prior to meeting your friend. So I pulled up, parked my car up, and I still haven't figured out how to pay via the app for the parking. So I asked a couple of people, they didn't know. Then Dizzy said, "Why don't you ask that guy over there, smart looking guy on the street?" I went up to him, said, "Excuse me, would you know how to pay for this parking through the app? I've not worked that out yet." And he said, yeah, I'll teach you. He goes, "How long are you staying for?" I said, "Hour." He goes, "Okay." He opened up his app and he said, "I'll just pay for your first hour." I'm like, no, just teach me how to do it on mine. He goes, no, I'll teach you how to do that as well, but I'll pay for your first hour so you can see how it works. Never met him from Adam. Pays for my parking. I'm like, wow, what a legend. So I take his number. I said, "Listen, do you know what? That is the kindest gesture. And I appreciate that. And give me your number. Let's stay in touch. I don't know. We'll talk. Who knows where it will lead, but it might lead somewhere." And we exchange numbers. But that wasn't even the magic. Do you know what the magic was? An hour later, he sends me an SMS saying, "Your parking has just run out. Do you want me to extend it for you?" Complete stranger. See, it's one thing making a difference, but it's for me, I mean, Dizzy knows I was there. I was practically on the verge of tears. I was so moved. I was like, what level of contribution, of awareness, of presence is he? It's none of his business if I got a ticket or not. The fact they paid for my first hour was more than generous, more than generous. The level of care for him to message a stranger and say, would you like to add another hour? Would you like me to add another hour to your parking as your first hour is up? He raised my vibration in that moment, because me and Dizzy were sitting in a restaurant, just grabbing a quick bite to eat. When that message came through, I was like, Diz, can you believe, like, who is this guy? Complete stranger, may never meet me again as far as he's concerned, but he's worried about helping somebody that was in a, I don't know how to do something. That's who we can be. He demonstrated to me another level, right? Because we all make a difference on the spur of the moment. Open the door for somebody, give the person sitting on the corner a pound in their coffee cup or whatever. We all do little things here and there. But can you see how you can raise the game, even in the game itself? Blew me away. Like, I was like, what level of presence is that he's thinking about me an hour after we parted ways in our journey? Phenomenal. So again, the reason I wanted to share that is when you tap into your magic, magic appears everywhere at levels that you can't even begin to comprehend. There's just so much magic around the corner waiting when you can start freeing yourself up and playing and dancing with life, right? Sue.
Hi, thank you so much, Kalpesh, and to everybody that's shared already. Like, I've got so much from this conversation. And, when you talk about creating possibility, we're in, most people, me included, so I'll just talk from my point of view, is I'm in the habit of, yes, I get excited about creating a possibility, yeah. And then, like, say it's the beginning of the month, yeah, we're going to have a really great month. It's going to be amazing. And then, like a week in, you're kind of like, oh, God, it's hard work, isn't it? Like, it's hard work, and then you start doubting yourself, and then suddenly you drain, your frequency goes down, your vibrations go down, and doubt kicks in. And so then when you're when you're trying to create possibility from doubt, from concern or anxiety, nothing shifts, right? And then also what you're leaving in the space is for the thing that you actually want to happen, not happen, right? And then you get another day where you think, no, I'm gonna go for it, right? And then you do it for 2 days, and then 2 days later, doubt kicks in again, and then it just keeps happening in the month, rather than holding on to the intention of, like, actually, can I see progress happening? Like, we look for what doesn't work rather than what is working. And we're so conditioned to things not working, right, that we end up just believing that it's just not going to work out. So just calm down, give yourself a break, be kind to yourself, and get under the duvet and forget all about it. Do you know what I mean? So that's what we do, right? That is what we do, isn't it? And then you get to the end of the month and you haven't hit your targets, and you haven't, like, fulfilled on what you want to do, and you just think, oh, it's just, I don't know, luck or fate, or that's how it was meant to be, right? All that bullshit, and then you do the same thing the next month. But actually, I've kind of really realized that, I've never been in sales before. So I've never had to hit like a sales target as such. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's never been like, I've had to rely on it for my job, but I can imagine, like, for people who are in sales, they have a target of every month, like they've got to hit a certain sales, right, target. So then they have to create the intention and the clearing for those sales to show up, right? And like, I've not ever done that. So, that's something for me to practice, as you were talking, I'm just like kind of creating that for myself, that's something definitely for me to practice, because I've not really ever had to do that. And also to create momentum. So, for example, I was just thinking, like, if I want to create X amount of sales this month, and I hold on to, like, okay, this is what I want to achieve, I'm going to start taking some actions that are going to help me do that. Now, we talked about, this field, Grandpa Crip said this field is a bit rubbish, we need to go to a different field. But actually just going to, and I've been starting to do that, is go to new networking events where I meet new people, and it's just constantly having the conversation, being in the energy and the vibration of sharing, and whenever I've done that, like I've gone to a network, I may not have got somebody from there who's going to sign up, but literally like the next day or the day after, somebody somewhere else contacts me and says, oh, what are you doing? Like it just worked, because the momentum's like there, the frequency, like the vibe is there. Do you know what I mean? But it's just because I'm in motion, it's happening, like it's happening, right? But then because what I've been doing is like I do it, and then a couple of days the doubt kicks in, and then I don't do it. So that's when I kind of lose momentum and it doesn't happen.
Perfect. Very well identified. And that's exactly how the journey goes. And so that ties into exactly what I was touching on, that teaching ourselves to focus on the possibility rather than the circumstance. And most of us are focused on the circumstance or the situation, the stuff that didn't work, and that the weight of all of that slows you down on what's possible. Freeing yourself from all of that. Grandpa Crypto gave another beautiful analogy. There's 100 boxes, there's a £50 note in one of them. Let go of the attachment of the empty boxes. Doesn't matter. The empty box doesn't mean anything. It's just a process. It's the mundane. It's the activity. What we do is we add attachment to the activity. Oh, it's an empty box. Why is it empty? I wonder if the next one's got the 50 in it. All of that noise, get rid of it. Just know that there's a 50 coming. That shifts the game completely, right? It's irrelevant. The 99 become irrelevant. All that's relevant is the one that's got the 50 in it. But most people cannot get their head around that. They will go through 99 painful points to get to one that's a positive one. And you don't have to. All 99 can be positive, knowing that it's just a matter of time until you nail it. So brilliant. Love that. Well done. Hassan, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, champ. Yeah, good. I was just thinking as you were talking, I was thinking, like the last few months I've had some challenges with my health. And I've had to go into hospital a few times, and I was, and I've been really kind of focusing on my health. I've changed my diet. I've just got myself a PT. Exercise, as you all know, is a big thing for me. And that really gets me into a good state, a massive good state. And alongside other things as well, like meditating and stuff like that. And it's just getting back into, into that. And then, as I was on a call earlier on, and I don't know this guy from Adam. I've never met him before, never spoken to him before. And we just, and what I can do is
you did amazing, by the way. I was just, even after I was saying dizzy, I goes, this guy.
Yeah, I mean, I was laughing to myself after I came off the call, because I'm like, did I just do that? Because that was quite cheeky what I did, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, you're saying what you're saying, but I'm going to do what I'm just going to carry on. So it's like, I'm going to walk through this whole resistance that you've got.
Yeah. And just to let everyone know what happened, it's beautiful, by the way. I was watching the master in action. So we had a 3-way Zoom lined up, and I happened to know the gentleman that Hassan brought to the call. In fact, very, very well. So we're good friends. So we start talking, connecting, having a good chat and stuff. Anyway, so we're having the conversation, and he already knows what I'm doing. So he didn't know that's what Hassan was doing. So he goes, oh, right, okay. You're working on the same project. I was like, yes. And, we spoke a little bit. And at some point in the conversation, because I know he's just recently started a new project, because he's posting about it and sending me messages about it. So I know he's working on another project. So knowing that, I was like, okay, so, where you at? Here's what we've got. We're working on this. And he was like, yeah, I'm not interested. And I said, no, that's fine. I respect that you've just started a new project. And Hassan just completely didn't hear I'm not interested, said, oh, let me just show you a quick video. I'm like, and he goes, I'm not interested. And Hassan goes, let me just show you a quick video. And he played the very short video of the machines. What was it, like a 30-second video, 50-second video or something?
Yeah, about that. Yeah.
30-second video of the machines. And the guy goes, oh, how much are those?
And then he was like, when you come into London, Cal.
He goes, how much are those? And I was like, all right, you could get one from as little as 500 euros. He goes, all right, okay. And then while I'm talking to him about that, and Hassan goes, let me just show you another video. So he interrupts the conversation again, and he plays like a 1-minute clip of Murto at the blockchain summit event talking about the mobile phone. And he goes, oh, right, that's clever. So then we're talking about the mobile phone. I said, yeah, it's going to be a minting phone. It's going to produce crypto for activity. While I'm talking to him, Hassan goes, oh, let me just show you another video. And he played the third video. What video did you play?
It was the
Alessio introducing
Alessio,
the minting. Anyway, so point being that he just did what he did. It was just the actions. Do you see what I'm saying? Like no attachment to anything, no burden, no heaviness. Just, okay, I've got to show him this video. The guy's saying, I'm not interested. It's not for me. I'll just watch this. Oh, how much are those? Oh, that's a cool phone. All right. Oh, what else you got? Zenit token. Oh, tell me about that. And I put the
then I pulled up the website.
He pulled up the protocol 33. Yep, Zenit, here you go, Royal Family of Dubai. The guy's, oh, okay. And we finished the Zoom. I said to Dizzy, I said, this guy, like, I just love that. Like, Hassan does do that. He does it more often than he knows. I'm always pointing it out to him, saying, do you realize, like, you know, some of the things that you're doing are like mastery on the highest level. He's got the ability to just get that focus going and do the actions without any attachment to what's going on the other side. And by the end of it, the guy goes, yeah, can you send me some information on the Zenit as well? Like, it's an absolute no. I've just started a new project. I'm focused where I am. I'm happy where I am, not looking at anything else. And by the end of the conversation, can you get me some information on the machines? And can you get me some information on Zenit token? Boom. So brilliant. Love it, Hassan. A great example. Sharon.
Hello, how are you? Sorry, guys. I've had a lovely tea while I was listening. Took my tea and eat my tea. Oh, what a pleasurable call to be on today. Absolutely brilliant. I think you're right, Dizzy. He's nailed it. And people showing up, it's crazy. It's like people have got resistance to showing up to something. It's insane. I do love you mentioned about being reborn. I said to myself months ago, I'm just going to have fun with stuff. Because if you don't have fun, you are snookered. If you try and oversell anything, you are snookered. If you are struggling, people are struggling, my advice to you is when you are at your downtime, something's not working, go and do some studying. So when you do go again, you've got that little bit more knowledge. You know, I'm a master at understanding shit. I just understand shit. I understand how back offices work. I understand how the stuff works. And I think it's probably because I do read and then I start digging and I start looking. So I tend to do a lot of the stuff myself. Not, you know, you can't break anything in the back office. It's a doddle. And honestly, the token for me, I'm telling you, for me, every single person on the blinking planet should have a box. But that's my opinion, right? And yeah, people will, I don't know, put $100 or $300 or $500 in scams all day long. All day long. And yet you show them something solid as a rock. I mean, this token, it's gonna be insane. And each and every one of you that's got it, well done you, because keep it tight. Don't even be tempted to sell it. Keep hold of it, because you're going to thank the lucky stars that you did. And I know in my community, certainly, that a lot of people have gone off and bought it on the strength of my knowledge on it. But it's out there for people to read. It's not that I'm, you know, if you read the stuff, and for me, if you don't do anything else, just get the token. I honestly, that's my focus. So I think read in your downtime, keep going, keep producing. And like you said, be happy and show a bit of energy. Smile and have fun with things, you know? So what if somebody doesn't want to join your business? So
another
what?
empty box. Cool. Celebrate the empty box.
Yay!
You're closer to the 50.
Hey. me, you know?
Thank
So
you.
what?
Yeah,
Thanks,
brilliant.
Calps.
Thank you, Han. Mick, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Calbs, how you doing, man?
Amazing.
Sorry,
amazing.
I'm in a bit of
You-
a darkened room here. I can only get on a quarter past. I couldn't believe you were still speaking 35 minutes later. And I couldn't help but look at the numbers that were on and think that if you were charging £5 for entry, we'd have 3 times as many on. Maybe we should do that and give it to charity or something.
You
you
know,
know.
we might be onto something there.
Well, just one question. Is there any chance at all that you could teach those skills about bed making, plate clearing and cleaning up to my 3 kids?
Well, do you know what? Funny you should say that. I often use my brother's 3 children as an example. And anything's possible, but you got to start early. To implement it later is a nightmare. But yeah, it is.
Yeah,
magical.
just to give you a small story today, I was doing a Zoom and the guy was so negative. He was on for another team member and he had something like 13 Bitcoin in Revolut. And he'd asked my team member to come around to extract the Bitcoin from Revolut, which I wasn't even sure you could do. And he said, not going into any projects, whatever. We were showing him at the very start. He said, show me a withdrawal. I showed him historic withdrawal. That doesn't prove anything, he said. I said, okay, I've got some little bit of Bitcoin in here right now. I did a withdrawal. We were still talking an hour and 20 minutes later, and on my iPad popped up a KuCoin notice. You've received X percentage of a Bitcoin. There's the withdrawal. Upshot of it all, the proof, the validation. Now, that's unusual to have it so quickly. But I said, look, I'll be back to you within 24 hours, and I'll show you the proof of that exact amount of Bitcoin coming into my wallet. We were still on the call when it came in. He bought he's buying an 8.5 grand Zenith package and a 10 grand minting package because of that. And I say that's not typical, it's unusual, but I was lucky. Maybe I get in at the end of the batch or whatever. There was one other thing I came across, and I've realized that oversharing the opportunity to the wrong people is how you leak your energy, your privacy, your protection. So, like, also as enthusiastic as you are about a project, stop telling people more than what they need to know. I went to a pub last night. I had 1 beer, believe it or not, and I was driven out of the pub. I was driven out of the pub by people who were hassling me about my past life in a positive way, about comedy wind-up calls that somebody is putting on TikTok and making money off my efforts, right? And nobody in the pub would leave me alone about this. So I said, my daughter's home from Italy. I'm going home. Bye-bye, and left them. But you know something? As much as I wanted to reveal the project that we're involved in to those, I'm thinking, like, the less you reveal, the more people can wonder. Forget the attention, move in silence to, and pre-qualify who you're going to give this information to, because you create destruction. That has noise, but creation is quiet. You don't always need to be telling everyone in the pub what you're doing. And I think, you need to appreciate the power of silence as well, and grow quietly, live peacefully, and pick the people that are genuine that you want to share with. That's just an observation from the pub last night.
It's absolutely.
And by the way, Hassan, your new healthy appetite does not sit well with the Irish appetite for self-destruction. Cheers, guys. Great value on the call tonight, Cabs. Well done, man.
Thank you so much, Mick.
Cheers.
And beautifully said. Absolutely. Yeah, curiosity is our biggest trump card, so use it well. Those that know how to use it will always benefit massively. Sivile, how are you, champion?
I'm fine, so KP, and how are you?
Amazing, thank you. Great to hear from you.
Oh, thank you so much, KP. Thank you so much. Thank you to everyone who has contributed the positive thinking, positive thinking. Thank you, everyone. This is you, Hassan, Granddaddy, Sharon, everyone was contributed positively. You are re-engineering us, you are resurrecting us, we are going to change for the best. We are going to change for the best. So KP, we went for a team building to Sun City. Action initiated that. I don't want to tell you lies, KP. I met new market on the way. I engaged plus minus 20 people, new faces, new people. It's worthwhile. Things are going to change. I think to Ambassador 4, I will be galloping to Ambassador 4 soon. I'm telling you, KP. I'm inches away from Ambassador 3. I'll be galloping to Ambassador 4, and we're going to be aggressive this time around, KP. We're going to have sessions here. We're going to have sessions. We're planned by basically, we're planning to change for the best.
Wow.
This team building session resurrected me. As I was going to the airport, I met a farmer who's farming in macadamia, huge plot of land, hectares there. I told him about this project. He was really insane. It was not the project that was insane. He was insane about the project. On my arrival at Durban International, Shaka International, I met a pastor there. I engaged him, and he's from the Eastern Cape. On my arrival in Joburg, I think you remember when I called you yesterday, but I think you were too tight. I was engaging a municipal manager of one of the towns here in South Africa, and he called his friend. So KP, he's a regular visitor to Dubai. His friend is a regular visitor to Dubai. I will touch base him with you. Things are going to change. They were trading before. They told me that they were trading and they are going to jump in. They told me that. This company is a miracle. Let's hold hands and we'll see the results at the end. This company is for people who are forward looking. If you are backward looking, if you are retrogressive, this is not the company for you, but needing forward looking people. Thank you so much, KP.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sibuyezo. Of having that team building session in Sun City, a beautiful weekend break. And anytime you have an opportunity to get together with your teams, whether it's in a coffee shop or in your living room or in a hotel foyer, it doesn't matter. Whether it's 2 of you, 5 of you, or 10 of you, do it as often as you can. When you vibe off each other, you really do lift each other. It makes a massive difference. So on that note, we have an opportunity to get together in the UK soon. 28th of February, we'll be all gathering in Manchester, and the 1st of March, we'll be gathering in London. I'm going to be flying in for the event as well, and so is Goran, and I don't know who else will join us internationally, but certainly if you're on the land, do whatever you can to be at those events so you can pick up the power from everybody. Like I always say, 1 + 1 is always 11, and those events evidence that. So thank you, everyone. It's been beautiful. Mwah. Love you all. And we'll catch you back here next Tuesday. Oh, don't forget, by the way, we have opportunity calls on Saturdays at midday UK time and trainings on Sundays at midday UK time going forward. So new additions that you can put into your calendar to take advantage of. And of course, the Mondays and Wednesdays, as always, as well.